If you're a subscriber to the channel, you may have seen the recent episodes of Slipping Out, where I covered both Call of Duty Modern Warfare and the later episode of Black Ops. So whilst I'm riding the Call of Duty wave, I thought I'd continue with some of the extras that I cut from both the videos. So this one not only includes more out of bounds footage, but also some awesome details that you may never have noticed whilst playing these games. Again, we're going to be starting off on the main menu screen on Black Ops. Around the room you may have noticed there are various video cameras placed on the walls, and these all link back to a screen just by the side of Mason, who is currently strapped to the interrogation chair. Now if you remember in the Black Ops episode, we saw at this point Mason has no head. Now although it's difficult to see from the normal camera position, once you get up close to this monitor that's just beside us, we can see the headless Mason on the monitor, as well as when we move the bar on the menu select screen. It's almost as if the interrogators are really watching us. During the mission for Kuta, when the hundreds of prisoners can be seen escaping, taking a closer look reveals they are not all they seem to be. Once we get closer, it becomes obvious these prisoners are billboarded 2D animated sprites, with the odd 3D model mixed in with them. Whilst spending some time at the Pentagon, we enter a lift that takes us to the Nerve Centre, a place that I'm led to believe has saved civilization more than once. On our travels, I couldn't help but notice a sign inside the elevator that I tried to read time and time again, however, just didn't seem to have long enough to do so. So I'm gonna show you that right now. It does make me wonder if there is such a sign in a lift in the Pentagon, and whether indeed it mentions that there is little chance of running out of air or dropping uncontrollably. I don't know about you, but if I read this inside an elevator, it would probably make me more alarmed than not. In the original episode, we took a quick look at where a sneaky snake disappears to at the start of the mission Executive Order, but there is another snake that you may never have noticed hiding just at the side of the map. Even though you never get to see inside the snake's mouth, the developers did give the snake a mouth texture, and some little teeth too. Nice. But that's not the main reason we're revisiting this mission in this video. Way over in the distance during the mission, we see a rocket launching, however it's too far away to be able to see any details. In fact, it just looks like a silhouette more than anything. When we head over to the rocket, we can see during the PC and I believe Xbox and PlayStation versions of the game, the rocket is a duplicate of the rocket that we blow up at the end of the mission. So pretty much fully detailed. On the Wii version, however, unfortunately things are not so spectacular. Also, whilst we're on executive order, we saw that whilst using the binoculars, our own character's model floats above the position of the binoculars. Although during that video, I couldn't get the footage to show whose head it was next to our model. After many attempts, I did manage to get these shots, and it becomes clear that it is the head of the character Weaver, who we rescue later on in the mission after being stabbed in the eye.
It's Kravchenko. Dragovich is second in command.
Back to Modern Warfare now, and something that I had a couple of viewers asking me about is why I hadn't shown where the soldiers and tanks come from and go to during the mission all gillied up. Well, there is a reason for this, which I'll explain in a moment. As for where they come from, as far as I can tell, they spawn over the hill just when we cross an invisible trigger point running along the side of the pipeline. They then head off down the dirt track and disappear towards the end, as you'd probably expect. The tanks, on the other hand, they come to a standstill. Now, the reason I cut this from the original Slipping Out episode is because if you really wanted to know where they go and try to find out, simply by waiting around long enough during the gameplay, you can see this happening without any need for camera trickery. The choppers that we find throughout the game in various missions have some pretty cool details on them that could be overlooked. I also don't remember ever being inside a CH-47 helicopter at any point during this game, so unlike the UH-1, there isn't really too much detail inside the cockpit. But for some reason, it does have this strange box next to the side exit, which says on it, well, what it is, as long as you can read backwards and upside down, that is. Talking of the UH-1, you may or may not have noticed a small note written on the control panel. If you ever wondered what that note said or where the quote came from, well, it's actually from the book of Revelation.
Use your target indicator to find Kilo 1 on the taxi.
Last but not least, we're going to be taking a look at the Epilogue mission Mile High Club from Modern Warfare, because a few viewers out there wanted to see the exterior of the plane. It is a little underwhelming, to be honest, and you also kind of see it when you jump out the plane after saving the hostage anyway, hence why I didn't include it. but I guess you don't see it for long, so here it is for you viewers who wanted a better view. However, one of my favourite details that you may never have noticed has to be the phone that's connected to the bomb, and how the developers decided to make the word boom run down the side of the screen, fitting as many M's on as they could. Great work.